Is Xbox falling out of the market? Now, it makes me think about this because I just feel like Xbox is falling behind. Now, it's still got a very active player base. I think there's nearly 30 million consoles sold, and PlayStation are on their way to sell 60 million. Which, when you look at that, wow, Xbox is falling deep behind. In the early 2000s, Xbox and PlayStation had very healthy competition. Very healthy. In fact, I think PlayStation did beat them only by 2 million, something like that. And that was towards the end of the life cycle. Now, I think, I can't remember when the PS3 launched. I think it launched a year or so after the Xbox 360. So the Xbox 360 kind of had a year to dominate the market, in a sense. And it did fairly well. I think the Xbox 360 sold like 85 million or something like that. So it did extremely well, the Xbox 360. It really flowed through the market very well. The exclusives for it were sky high. They had Left 4 Dead as well. They had many, many other... Halo, of course, that's... A lot of people played Halo. Halo was a huge game. Looking back at it now, it's quite a sad one to miss. And then you look at the current Halo Infinite, and you think, wow, what on earth happened? Well, it's not bad, but it did start off on a wrong foot for a lot of people. Either way, it does make you think, what was Xbox thinking in 2013 when they revealed the Xbox One? What were Microsoft like, yes, let's reveal this? Because pretty much everything they revealed there, they reverted in like 2-3 years later. They reverted that shit straight away. And the Kinect died pretty quickly. It was a piece of trash that you bought with your console. No one really cared about it after that. It was thrown away, nobody cared about it. Now, yeah, you can use them for things. AirPods actually use the Kinect. The Kinect was, then again, it was with the 360. It was kind of Xbox's way of trying to go in the competition of the Wii. But they kind of failed at doing that. They tried to, they saw Wii doing very well. They saw, wow, Nintendo's doing incredible with the Wii. Why don't we, bounce in? Now, bear in mind, PlayStation did this as well with PlayStation Move. I don't know if they did it to compete with Nintendo. However, the Wii was doing incredible. It was doing great because it was a cool console. You sort of controlled everything through this sort of, controller. I don't know, I liked it. I liked the Wii. A lot of people were a bit iffy about it. Obviously, its biggest thing was Wii Sports. A lot of people actually got fit using that, which was really cool to see. A lot of older people used it as well. So it's pretty cool to see things like that. And then Xbox tried to do, I think they had their own, like, Xbox Fitness or something. They tried to sort of compete with Nintendo. Granted, they didn't do well, obviously, because, well, the thing is, people like that, they compete way too late. Instead of maybe doing it as soon as we need to do it now. You really shouldn't compete against someone using their own product. I mean, yeah, you could make a better product, but why the fuck would someone want a Kinect on the Xbox? People use the Xbox to play games like Call of Duty and Halo. Why would people want a Kinect? They have the Wii for that. They most likely probably had the Wii console as well. And that's kind of stupid mistake that Xbox made again. And then in 2013, obviously, they made another mistake trying to make the Xbox like a TV, like a DVR thing, Like you could watch all your movies on. Yes, you can still do that on Xbox. You can still download Netflix. You can still download Prime Video and whatever you want to, you could still download Paramount. You can still download all your streaming services. Of course you can. You can do that on both consoles, to be honest. I'm pretty sure you could do that on the Switch, which, again, they're not streaming devices in that sense. You can watch things, but I don't know why on earth Xbox was like, yeah, this is a TV. And it didn't look right. It looked clunky. It looked hugely clunky. And it had one of the worst features on a console, a touch-sensitive power button. Yes, I don't know what they were thinking when they released the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, with a touch-sensitive power button. Bearing in mind, you only had to brush this. You had to put a fair bit of pressure on it. But this was very easy to knock. I knocked it once. And bearing in mind, that wasn't the only thing touch-sensitive. The disc eject button was touch-sensitive. That's crazy. If somebody accidentally brushes past, I'm sure they could end up knocking that. Oh no, your Xbox is off. And I know there was a problem with, they had, I think, Cortana back then. I don't know if Cortana still exists, but they introduced that into Xbox, which, again, nobody asked for. You could use your Kinect to control the Xbox, turn off the Xbox and that. I remember that was a load of problem back then with people. People used to troll people by telling them, I think there was a series on YouTube where someone on Call of Duty had changed their gamer tag to Xbox turn off, and then he would troll them. And then they would say the word Xbox turn off, and it would turn off their Xbox, which, I guess that was the only useful thing with Kinect. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's another bad mistake Xbox has made. And they keep making these bad mistakes all the time. And it drops them down. And Phil Spencer has definitely pulled that company out of the fucking rubble. While he hasn't made the sales go up incredible, he's definitely made some impact. Because it's clear Xbox, before he was there, well, before he was in charge at least, was hitting the lowest of lows. And I'm talking about when Don Matrick revealed that shit, because, wow, that was probably, I'm surprised Xbox don't look back at that every now and again, like, shit, what could we have done? I'm surprised Bill Gates didn't go crazy. Holy shit. What an awful launch. You could tell as well, they had to, force people to laugh, I guess. Force people to, cheer. Because barely anyone was doing it. There was no one cheering. At all. As soon as they, talked about it, nobody gave a shit. And then the PS4, bang! They slapped straight out of the park. And of course, the Xbox back in the day, the original Xbox One at the reveal, they said, oh no, if you want to play offline, guess what? You just use the Xbox 360 instead. Yeah, if you want to play offline. Now, bearing in mind, both consoles now require online for most games, so I'm not really going to shit on Xbox too much, although back then that was kind of a big deal. A lot of people maybe didn't have online, and they still wanted to play some cool games. Although majority of games these days probably require online for things like DRM and stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess maybe Xbox did have the last laugh. Who knows? Either way, it's quite clear Xbox really made some big mistakes back in the day. And looking back at it, PlayStation were just laughing in their face. I think Xbox had something to do wrong with owning games on their system. I know a lot of people were very annoyed at the fact that Xbox they weren't allowing people to use games, like share games and stuff, and PlayStation said, yeah, you can share games on PlayStation. Just subtle things like that made PlayStation just say, we've won. And they didn't. The thing is, it was probably the easiest thing for PlayStation ever, that was probably because Xbox literally handed them the keys and said, please fuck us in the ass. And they did just that. They fucked you in the ass by an extra, 60 million? Selling the PS4? They fucked you clean. And it blows my mind. Why on earth Xbox did that? What was going through their minds? Like, yeah, let's release this console. Because nobody cared about it. I think in some events, they were giving that shit out for free. They were like, please, take an Xbox. Please take an Xbox. Because nobody cared about the Xbox. Nobody really cared about it. They failed. They failed to grip on. Now, people did buy the Xbox, of course. But it just didn't feel as good. I don't know what Xbox were thinking. They dropped behind very, very quickly. And it's quite clear PlayStation have been dominating the market for the past 10 years. And Xbox had just sat there like, oh, well, we're just going to let them dominate them. You've got to do something about it. Either do something about it or fuck off from the market. Accept defeat and be like, oh yeah, we've been defeated. And fuck off from the market. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to leave the market next year. I think they're going to leave the market once this console generation is over. That's probably the best time to leave. That's my thought. Either they're going to leave the market at the end of this year, or they are going to stay in the market and just continue to realise they're getting defeated. Which, again, is not a great thing. I think Xbox need to either come up with some big strategy to how on earth they're going to climb back up the ranks, and not mess about anymore, because it's getting very boring from Xbox. And I don't exactly know why the Xbox Series X isn't doing well. It's quite clear they tried to pull a maneuver by making the Series S cheap. That's the whole reason that console exists, I think anyway, is to pull more sales. Because I'm sure that probably has sold more than the Xbox Series X. And from rumours, there is apparently an Xbox handheld. Are they trying to get into the market? I know the Steam Deck is pretty popular right now, and the Nintendo Switch is actually about to beat the PlayStation 2 sales. I think the Switch, wow, it's blown me away on how well the Switch has actually sold. Considering a lot of people don't really like Nintendo, the way Nintendo acts. Nintendo is a very petty company. They sue people for literally everything. If you want to emulate a 50-year-old game, they'd sue you for that. So, they're a very petty company, Nintendo. And I guess that's how they stay. They're in the lane. Now, the Switch obviously has done very well purely because, well, it's a homemade name now. Nintendo, especially, because most games on the Switch are exclusives. You can only buy them on Nintendo consoles, like Mario and Zelda and stuff like that. They're exclusive to the Nintendo brand. So I guess that's how Nintendo kind of keeps it on a leash. I know the Switch is due for an upgrade now. It's holy wow! It really needs an upgrade. I think there's a Switch 2 around the corner, which apparently will have the same performance as the original Xbox One and the PS4, around about that performance. Which, wow, if that's true, then that might not be bad. Hopefully it is good. I may pick it up. I don't know. It all depends. Will it be able to play Switch game, the original Switch games, or will it not? I don't know. The Steam Deck as well is causing a lot of heat up because a lot of people are loving that. It's a great console, great handheld console, whatever you want to call it. It's again, you can install Windows on it. You can pretty much do anything you want on it. And it's an incredible handheld device. You don't even have to be a PC gamer to use it. You can download a few games that are supported on the Steam Deck, and you can still enjoy them. I do think... Now, personally, I don't own one because I don't feel the need. Like, I have a PC if I want to play stuff like that. So I feel like if I had one, I'd just be wasting it. However, I can see the need why people love why people love handheld things. So maybe Xbox branching into this would be a good thing. I don't know. It's a very weird thing because Xbox how are they going to do it? That's what I worry about. How on earth are they going to brand this? Because, well, number one, Xbox hasn't really got a great reputation as it is with a lot of people. So, the Xbox handheld, they can't, and again, the PlayStation have kind of made a bit of a shit with the PlayStation Portal. It's just a streaming thing. It's literally, that's all it is. It streams games from your PS5 to this handheld sort of thing, which looks kind of goofy. It just looks like they've broken a PS5 controller in half and used the handheld joystick part, with the joystick on it. It doesn't look great in my opinion. And that was previewed a few months back. And I know that a lot of people were like, yeah, it's a streaming thing. Again, Sony has had a pretty good run in the handheld market. Maybe not so much with the PS Vita, but definitely with the PSP. I think they sold nearly 100 million units with that. So it tells you Sony, if they bring back the PS... hopefully they actually bring back... It all depends on what Xbox are doing here. If Xbox are doing a streaming thing, where you stream games from your console, I don't think that would do very well. Nobody wants that. Nobody asked for that. Nobody cares about things like that. We want to see a thing that you can play directly from the device. I want to see you be able to game directly. If it's a full force Xbox and a handheld, who knows, it might do well. Maybe that's their last chance to boom, and then they just release an Xbox for the people who actually want to use a Xbox as a home console. Who knows? I think that could be a good breach for them in the market. I don't know. But who really knows? This could save Xbox. This could bring Xbox back to where it should be. Maybe that's what they're thinking anyway. They're like, oh yeah, let's release a handheld console. It might bring us back up. It might do well. Nintendo have done it well. Partly Nintendo have had a head start. The console was released, I think, in 2016 or 2017. So they've had quite a big head start, when it comes to this. I wouldn't, while they are selling very well, the Switch, again, is about to beat the PS2, which is the best-selling console of all time. I think which is 150 million. So it's not far off beating that, which would be crazy if it did. And then that would probably piss Sony off, which is, it pissed the Sony fanboys off as well, which is kind of crazy to see. But yeah, it blows my mind how well, handheld, again, mobile gaming is doing very well. Mobile gaming is doing incredibly well. Maybe it's quite clear not everyone can afford a console these days, and while yes, you can still make a fair bit of money from developing on consoles, and I don't think consoles are going to go anywhere yet, because they sell well, especially PlayStation anyway. They're not going to ditch their consoles because they sell very well. They're like, oh well, why should we get rid of them if they sell well? However, I do feel like Microsoft may may switch to handheld. Maybe they scrap the console altogether. Maybe they keep the console for the people who actually want the console and the handheld for the people who want handheld, and sort of split the market like that. And the handheld device becomes the new Series S, and they just get rid of the Series S. Who knows? I don't know what Microsoft are planning here. I don't know how long they've been planning this. Are they planning it because they look at PlayStation like, oh shit, they're beating us. They're putting us in the dirt when it comes to these sales. And they are. You're not wrong. They're beating the shit out of you. It's quite scary how fast Sony are beating you, you know, because it makes me think, wow, Sony have really shot up on the market. They've really out there. They don't care anymore. They're going for it. They're going for the kill, which is, again, blows my mind, because Xbox is still kind of falling behind. And apparently publishers are worried about supporting Xbox moving forward, which I've heard, which is scary to see. If you hear things like that, oh no, publishers are scared. I don't know. It's all a bit of a rocky start for Xbox. I mean, Xbox is, again, it's taking a lot of heat. I don't know, man. It's a bad thing for Xbox. They're really hitting some annoying things. And do I think the future of Xbox will look as bright as it is now? Who knows? They may leave the market altogether. Although I don't really see why they would leave the market. That's a lot of things they've left behind. I don't think they'd leave the market. I think they're probably going to do a lot of changes. There's going to be a huge change on Xbox's side. I'm going to say at the end of this generation, there's going to be a lot of changes, so we'll have to see what Xbox is cooking up. Are they going to do this and that? Who knows? Who really knows what Xbox has got cooking up? They may have something pretty crazy cooked up, and they just don't want to reveal it next because they want to try and see if they can get the higher edge when it comes to the next generation launch. Who knows? I don't even know. There's rumours that there's this and that launching next time. Next generation, the PS6 and that. They've apparently, some people have kind of leaked them, which makes no sense. I don't even think they've made them, to be honest, the PS6. Maybe they have. They're probably prototyping a lot of that stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know Xbox's future. I really hope it does well, because I don't want to see something that I played on so much as a child just go like that and vanish, and leave the market and be destroyed like this. I like healthy competition. I want these consoles to be doing quite healthy. And I know a lot of these businesses don't really care about the competition, but from at this standpoint, I kind of want it to be healthy. Quite a healthy competition. And it doesn't really seem like that at the moment. However, I don't know. I don't know the future of Xbox. I really hope to God it does well and it pulls itself out of the drainage, because it's deep in there at the moment. It's definitely been pulled out quite far. It's been like Phil Spencer's done a great job with trying to pull Xbox out of the dirt. They've reverted again. They've reverted pretty much everything they've done with Xbox back in 2013. And they're like, you know what? Unfortunately, that didn't bring the people back. So, there's that.